So here's the thing. Most people think they are not creative enough, or they need experience to learn to paint. If you believe this, this is the biggest lie you are telling yourself. Okay. Essentially, if you keep believing that, you will spend the rest of your life wishing you were more creative, but never actually doing anything to learn how or make it happen because you already believe that you won't be able to. In other words, what you're currently believing will keep you from ever picking up a paintbrush and experiencing the absolute thrill of creating your own work of art. And you will miss out on all the enjoyment of the creative process and the positive benefits of being creative. That has, being creative has tons of positive benefits on your well-being. You will miss all of that. Now, that's not your fault. Many of us have come through the public education system that wasn't really set up to nurture creativity. It's better now, but it didn't used to be. Maybe your teacher told you weren't any good, or you got bad marks for your art. I actually failed art at school because the grading system that existed then only allowed for a certain percentage of the class to pass. So even though we had a class full of gifted artists, half of us had to fail to meet the education system requirements. What's that telling creative people? I hear it so often from the people I teach to paint. So many of you were told at a young age that you just weren't creative, so you believe it. And I get it. Everyone thinks you need experience to be able to create anything. You need to be creative, to create anything worth hanging on the wall. So it is easy to believe, but it's simply not true. All right. It's because when you adopt a belief, value gets tied to your efforts. And we all know that your effort is only equal to what you believe you can achieve. So if you believe in advance that you can't do something, then you're not going to put in any effort and you're not even going to try. All right. And often you reach that belief of I can't just because you didn't have the right teacher. Okay. Or something happened in the past that made you believe that you couldn't. Every single person is born with creativity in them. It's only limited by the willingness to try and having the right guidance when you do. Creative people are those people who believe they can before they start and are willing to try for the first time when they've got no previous experience. They don't just sit there thinking they'll fail, so I won't try. I mean, imagine Monet, Van Gogh, Renoir, they all had a first time. They all at some point didn't know how to paint. Imagine if they believed they couldn't or needed experience first and didn't. What a waste of creativity and talent that would have been. The majority of people I teach have never painted before, but they all walk away with a finished painting they love. Now think about it. They had no experience, or maybe they had no experience. Sorry, brain stop there. They had no experience, and many of them have never even had a paintbrush, but they just decided to have a go. They changed their belief of what's possible. They took that next step and created their first painting, got a big happy boost, and now they know they can paint. They can be creative. They are creative enough. They're successful because they adopt the exact opposite belief that everyone else thinks. Think about it. Everyone has the ability to learn to drive a car, right? Hi, Sandy. Everyone has the ability to learn to drive a car. We all start from a point where we don't know how to drive and we want to get to the point where we are able to drive. So we get someone to teach us. Ideally, it's someone who's qualified to teach us. And it'll be more because it'll be more frustrating and take longer if it's not, but you will eventually learn how to drive. But you're successful because you decided before you started that you'd be able to learn to drive. Those who believe they won't be able to learn to drive, they never try, and so they never learn how to drive. All right. And so now you know the difference, which means you have a choice. You can continue to believe that you'll never be creative or won't be good enough, missing all the fun and enjoyment of painting, like with the people I'm teaching, never knowing the awesome sense of achievement of creating your own first work of art and missing all the other positive benefits of being creative, like the stress relief you get from it. It just totally relaxes you and unwinds you. You get more happiness in your life and you get a massive confidence boost as well. You'll miss all of that. Or starting today, you can step into that belief that you have creativity inside you. You can be creative. You can learn to paint. You can be the artist you've always wanted to be and start living and operating from that belief. All you have to do is decide that you can and find the right person to teach you. Now, it might feel scary. You might be nervous and it's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but it's always worth it in the end. All right. Or if you've already tried to learn to paint on your own and you're not getting the results you want because you're just not sure of the basics of painting or brush techniques or even what brushes you should be using. Maybe you've struggled to create paintings you like and you're frustrated, feeling like it's taking longer than you imagined to learn and get results that you want, and you're feeling like you're making more mistakes than progress. If you're someone who's going to be successful, then you already understand that you need to change what you've been doing if it isn't working. And just like driving the car, learning to drive a car, all the people who learned from a driving instructor learned much faster with fewer mistakes, probably less prangs, and better results. All right. So you can carry on struggling to learn on your own and maybe even give up hope that you'll ever be able to paint anything you like. Or starting today, you can step into that belief that you can learn to create beautiful paintings that you'll be proud of and start living and operating from that belief. Okay. All you have to do is believe that you can and find the right person to teach you. It may be me, it may be not me. It doesn't matter who it is. You just need to believe that you can and find the right person to teach you. And you will be so glad when you did. And I promise you, it will all be worth it in the end. Awesome. Let's get painting. Bye.